feel like we need some like elevator music or something. Hi everyone. Welcome. My name is Juniper. I am the Senior Community Manager for the Bitverse, and I would like to welcome you to our weekly community Q&A session. This week, we are going to be sitting down with Jorge, our Senior Director of Product for the Bitverse. And our special guests this week are Matthias and Andres from the Bit Heroes Arena team. Our plan is to go over some updates about current Bitverse community events and giveaways like we do each week. Then we'll be transitioning into answering some player-submitted questions about Bit Heroes Arena. We'll wrap the session up by giving away an Ultra Gore to another lucky audience member. So be sure to stick around. Thank you all. The session is probably going to be about 30 to 45 minutes today, and we'll be posting the Q&A up on our YouTube channel. Make it today. So now, before we get started, I do want to quickly mention some things that may be of interest to you all, and then we can get into our questions. So, the Bitverse lore contest ended yesterday, and we have been so excited to see all of your entries over the past few weeks. We are going to be taking a look as a team through all of them. Everyone's really excited to have a chance to do that, and we're going to be announcing winners early next week. So good luck to all of you, and a huge thank you to everyone who took the time to enter. We love seeing the creativity, and we are excited to announce that we're going to be having a kind of like a Photoshop contest coming up soon for those of you who may prefer like video or images as like your medium for your creativity. So the events will still keep on coming. We are also running multiple weekly social events on our Discord that we encourage all of you to join. Invite your friends to join. Tonight at 5 p.m. Pacific time, we are going to be playing the Quarry together in the Bitverse Hangout channel. And another Ultra Gore is going to be given away. We're doing 2 this week. So all you have to do to enter is join us in the Hangout channel while we play and tell us the name of your favorite scary movie. As we play, you'll have the chance to vote on all the decisions we make in game. So we hope to see you there for some fun tonight. As a quick reminder, The Quarry is a more mature horror game. So if that's not your cup of tea, just wait until we've finished streaming and you can post your answer in the channel once all the spookiness is over. We'll be accepting entries until about 10 p.m. Pacific time tonight. So for those of you who may have been more anxiously awaiting some news about Bit Heroes Arena, we're really excited to share that we actually have an upcoming open beta scheduled for July 15th. And all you need to do to get access to do is to sign up for the Bit Heroes Arena Playtester program. The link to do this is kon.gg/BHA beta. I'm going to do that one more time. kon.gg/BHA beta. I know that some of you may have tried earlier versions of the game, but we've added a ton of new features and content to the game since then. So we encourage you to sign up so we can all give it a try together on the 15th. Now, before we get into answering questions, I think it would be great to take a moment for Matthias and Andres to introduce themselves to the Bitverse community, as Arena is a newer game that some of our audience members may be hearing about maybe for the first time. So Matthias, Andres, how would you feel about taking a moment to share a little bit about yourself and your history with Bit Heroes Arena?
Of course. Well, hello everyone. My name is Matthias. I'm the lead designer for Bit Heroes Arena. I've been working at the game for the past 2 years now, and I'm really excited to be part of this AMA. So ask away.
Hello everyone, in my case I'm Andres. I've been also working on the game for quite a bit now, almost around 2 years since the beginning of its conception. And I've been working as a project manager, and we are very excited to share with you some answers and news about the game, and very much looking forward for you to try the game very soon.
Awesome. And then Jorge, I think the community is familiar with you at this point, but welcome again. Thank you for joining us today. It's always great to have you. Let's go ahead and jump into our questions today. So, because I think we have a few. So, kicking us off, can you tell us more about how the game, so the game being Bit Heroes Arena, is going to work? Can you explain stuff like weapons and abilities?
Of course. So, as a bit of context, Bit Heroes Arena is a fantasy-themed battle royale / RPG, you could say, belonging to the Bitverse general group of games, the Bitverse family, let's say, in which you face up to 49 other players, wielding powerful melee weapons and casting super cool magical spells. The idea is that you become the undisputed Bit Hero by exploring an open map that is pre-designed, filled with a bunch of monsters, cool buildings that drop a bunch of loot and epic weapons that you can later equip, so that you can dominate your all opposition before a deadly storm swallows everything. The idea behind the weapons is that you can pick them up as you progress during the match. There are 6 weapon types that we have created so far, but we have plans of adding even more in the future. We have different playstyles for every type of weapon. So if you're a player who likes to get right in the thick of battle, chasing your opponents and obliterating them with point-blank damage, then the axe is your weapon. If you perhaps like a more defensive playstyle, where you can get in and out of conflict in a moment's notice and then reflect the damage that your opponents deal to you back to them, then the sword and shield is your weapon. If you instead like a more sneaky approach to your combat, doing stabby maneuvers, maybe being invisible and then dealing a bunch of damage with a single strike at the right moment, then the dagger is your weapon. If you instead prefer to snipe enemies away from a safe distance, dealing a bunch of damage with powerful projectiles, and even trapping your opponents to get them right where you want them, then the bow is your weapon of choice. If you perhaps are more of a magey type and like magic, then the staff is an excellent weapon for crowd controlling, dealing a bunch of AoE and area of effect damage to several opponents at the same time and slow them down so that they cannot get to you. So the staff is a weapon to do all of that. And finally, if you're more of a battle mage type in which you like magic, but you also want to be super aggressive and chase your opponents and perhaps deal a bunch of consistent damage with attacks that perhaps do not deal as much damage, but have the chance of setting your opponents on fire, then I do recommend the wand for those types of playstyle. So,
which one's your favorite?
Amazing. So, in essence, you have those 6 weapons. Those 6 weapons each can have up to 3 skills, and how many skills you have depends on the rarity of the weapon. So at the start of the game, you'll start with a really scrummy weapon that doesn't have any skills, but does have like the basic attacks of the weapon. And as you progress and as you loot more weapons, the idea is that you can pick them up, pick better versions of those weapons that do have access to those additional skills. So those skills grant more versatility to the weapon. They grant particular utility, such as a trap that roots your opponents in place. Other skills are just plain damage, like a bunch of the skills from the axe that just allows you to spin around and deal a bunch of damage to everyone around you. And they give you a bunch of new possibilities and synergies in combat. So the idea is that you can pick them up and try to survive with your new cool weapons.
Yes, I was trying to ask you, like, which playstyle is your favorite?
Oh, right. I didn't get that. For me, my favorite playstyle, let's say, would be the dagger, stabby. I love going around. Yeah, stabby. I love going around, being invisible, and destroying my opposition without them noticing me with a single strike.
Wand is where it's at.
Yeah.
I think in my case it would be the axe.
Axe? Yeah, I think for me it was staff, the crowd control staff is the one that I the most ass around.
Indeed.
Like I can jump with the axe and still reach you. We have a skill for that. So I still got you.
I get invisible and you don't have me then.
I think I tend to win most matches, but maybe it's because you're letting me win.
Sounds like hope.
I wish that was an honor that I was extended. I lose pretty much every match at BHA I play, but it's an amazing time. So also anyone who's using axes, I get obliterated every time. It's absolute. I love the different combat styles. I always try to keep my distance, but the gap closing is real. I love the combat in the game. It's really fun. Awesome. Okay, so moving right along. So this next question, I think, might come from some of our players who might be in the Surviv community. So Surviv is another one of our games that Congregate has that is similar in a lot of ways to Bit Heroes Arena. But this particular question is asking, how is BHA different from Surviv?
Great question. I'd say, in essence, it's a combination between a Battle Royale and an RPG. That alone creates a bunch of differences and a bunch of exciting possibilities. We have done our best to insert the distinctive Bit Heroes look and feel, both in the playstyle of the game, the gameplay, and the aesthetic. The added melee weapons and the skills, they provide a bunch of synergistic opportunities that really bring the whole Battle Royale genre to a new level. You can also get weapons that drop modifiers. Modifiers are like special perks, you could say, passive abilities that can drop randomly from certain weapons. And those can make some weapons extremely powerful in the right circumstances. We're talking about modifiers that increase the damage of the weapon. Some modifiers add a chance of inflicting a status effect on opponents. And some modifiers even increase your own attributes. So the attributes of the player that increase your health or your speed or your damage, those can also increase by some weapons. So that adds a lot of variety. And we've done our best to include as many mechanics from RPGs as possible that make sense within the context of Bit Heroes to this game.
Yeah.
And NFTs.
NFTs.
Very important too.
Very important. To follow what Matthias was saying, we have a couple of systems that are not present in Surviv, and I think that differentiate the game a lot. And for example, we have monsters in BHA, which we have located them across the whole map. They spawn in several areas, and this allows the game to offer both the player a PvP experience and a PvE one during the same match. And this is also related to one of the other systems that we have implemented in the game, that it is a leveling system, and in which you can actually level up inside the game by farming XP, by killing monsters, killing other players. And this creates like this synergy between these two systems because they are both related directly to one another. And it also allows for like a strategic, more strategic to the player because for example, the level system is composed of three basic or major stats, basically, which are the agility, which dictates the player's speed, movement, vitality, which determines their max HP, and the attack, which is basically what determines their raw power. It's very important because when the player is leveling up, they have to make like a decision: which stat should I boost in this level? And that gives like options to the player to basically allow it to choose their playstyle and which stat impacts better what they're trying to achieve in this match. And also, as I mentioned, NFTs are very important because on BHA, this game is built around a group of games that conforms what we call the Bitverse. It's going to offer a lot of games in different genres, so players can always find something in there to play with. And also, the NFT avatars that we're going to be sharing with you, you can play it on BHA Arena, but not only on this game. You can travel with that. your NFT avatar across different games. You can play with it, and you can feel like you are attached to this universe, like you're part of the community. You're belonging to this Bitverse, and this is very exciting for us to work on these NFTs avatars. We are going to be looking amazing. They are very distinctive, and I think everyone is going to be loving those.
Excellent, of course.
Awesome. So, how many players can actually join a match in Bit Heroes Arena?
Right now, currently, the game supports up to 50 players per match. That also, aside from all the monsters to spawn in the game, but this is not something that we have set in stone as the only number for now.
Indeed, we also have features of adding new maps in the future. Right now, we have a single map, which is, as I mentioned before, pre-designed with different biomes and a set size. That map is more designed for around 50 players. However, we have plans of adding more maps in the future, some of which will be smaller, some will be larger, to add also new biomes with new features, more content in the future, smaller maps for deathmatch style battles, other massive maps for to pit a bunch of players against each other. So there's a lot of possibilities in that regard.
Awesome. So, let me take a look at this question here, make sure I read it right. How will the play and earn feature work with BHA? Will only the winner of the match take the spoils?
So for VHA, each player will have 3 daily quests, right? They have 3 daily quests right away when they start the game, and these are going to be refreshed daily. So you can always complete these quests even if you're not the winner. So you always have something to work for and to progress. These will reward you with gold, which you can use to upgrade your gear, and also season XP, which helps you level up across the season to obtain even more rewards like, gear, emojis, or even more gold. So you can stack that to better upgrade your gear. What is amazing here is that even if you do not win the match, you always feel like you are progressing somewhere in the game, even if you are just upgrading your gear to try to climb up the positions, leaderboards. So you always feel like there's progress in different parts of the game, which I think is very cool because the game offers more to every player.
Indeed. You can also actually craft new gear. So we added a whole new additional progression system to keep you engaged in the game in the long term. In the game, you can get access to what we call the pets, which are those little flying animals that follow you around during a match. And aside from looking very cute, they also have the option of gobbling up materials, which are just another type of loot item that you can get during a match. And those materials you can then use after the match has ended to craft new gear pieces, which would be helmets, rings, armor, etc., with diverse modifiers. You can actually create a build with the modifiers, the perks that you want for your armor to provide to you, the passive effects that best suit your playstyle, and the weapons that you like to use. And you can then use those materials to craft those modifiers and then upgrade them to the best of your ability. So the idea is that after gathering those materials, you can then consume them and then keep leveling up your weapon as you go along, match after match. The important thing here to note is that whether you win or lose any match, you still get to preserve all of your materials. Every single material you collected is still yours, rightly yours, so you can still keep progressing no matter the outcome of each match. So in short, really, the advantage of winning mainly is that you get to survive longer, which means more materials for you, and also a greater chance of completing your quest objectives. And you can also get some small bonuses aside. But the main point here is that you can always progress no matter the outcome of the match.
Yeah, and when it comes down to the crypto side of that, we are planning, to at some point hold tournaments, right? So way to distribute tokens and rewards. And as mentioned, across the whole Bitverse, the idea is also to collect the non-NFT version of the items first, then use some of those crafting materials as well as some bit pixels craft the NFT version of the item, right? Which will happen in the Bitverse.io. Those types of things are common across all games in terms of like how does that play to own component work. Obviously, we have avatars and everything that Diaz and Andres explained.
Of course.
Awesome. Thank you. You cut out just a little bit towards the end there, Jorge. So I just wanted to make sure you were finished answering the question before I move on to the next one.
I don't know, where did what did you miss? So
it just got quiet towards the end, so I wasn't sure if you were going to add more or if your mic cut out.
I think I finished.
Okay.
Amazing.
I heard my name.
Later.
So, okay, how many weapons can you find in Bit Heroes Arena? And are there legendary weapons in the game?
Sure. So when the game releases, as I mentioned, we'll have 6 types of weapons. We'll also have 4 rarities. So we have the common, rare, epic, and legendary. Those are the 4 rarities that you get in Bit Heroes. So Bit Heroes has some additional rarities. We'll be adding those in the future. So keep looking forward to that. But for now, we'll have those 4 initial rarities. And aside from that, we'll also have the modifier system, which, as I mentioned, adds additional perks, which are random as the weapon drops during the match. So if you take into consideration all of the different weapon types, plus the different rarities, plus all the possible combinations of modifiers that you can get in a single weapon, you basically can get hundreds and hundreds of variations. There's a bunch of variety between all the possibilities. And the whole purpose is just to add a bunch of variety that keeps things dynamic as you loot.
I think when we added the modification system, it certainly made the game more variety. A lot of weapons. You can have a lot of them with different status effects, and I think that's very cool. And one thing that I wanted to mention is that it's not related to the axe being my favorite weapon, but I think at some point it was everyone's favorite weapon because it was very powerful because of the close combat. And Matthias mentioned one of the weapons is the bow, right? And as a fun fact and fun story is what when we were developing this new weapon, the bow, it has a skill where you can actually trap people inside a net trap, and then you can trick them into falling into your trap, and you can basically take advantage of that. On our first builds, when we were playtesting it, we didn't have an asset specific for the trap, so we used the same potion asset. So when everyone was playing and using this skill, there were a lot of potions scattered across the map, and because we didn't have an asset to differentiate it, we were all falling in net traps because of playtesting with.
Wait a minute. Are we changing the potion asset? The trap? Are we doing that for real?
Yes.
Oh, we already did. It's a little bit different.
No,
it's a little bit.
No.
I love that. We already did it.
It's
enough for you to notice it.
Slight variation.
Come on, it's great because people they're gonna get healed if they pick that up. That's why they get close to it and then they fall into your trap.
Correct.
Indeed.
Everyone was falling for it.
Yeah, that's a really slight variation. You gotta pay attention.
Anyway, we're gonna remove the last 30 seconds of this conversation, and we're gonna bring back the potion, so we're all good.
Sure. Let's do that. Yeah, tomorrow. I also wanted to mention, of course, we have plans in the future to add even more weapon types, more rarities, and more modifiers in the future. So this weapon variety is only going to increase in the future.
Awesome. So I think I mentioned this a little bit earlier in the conversation, but the question is, when are we going to be able to join the open beta of Bit Heroes Arena? I know we have one scheduled for, I think it's the 15th of July, but I figured you guys might maybe want to take this one as an opportunity to talk about all of the changes that have gone into the game since November. Wasn't it? Was it November? The last time we did a round of updates for BHA?
That is correct, November. And to answer your question, very, very soon, we're looking forward to share more news with you, to all the community, about when they are able to play the beta. And we are looking forward for the players to experience the overhaul that we did on the visuals, because it's been quite a while since we updated the build that it's currently live, and I know some of the players will notice the change right away, because the terrain will look so much different and way better. The whole team is very proud of what they are building, and I think everyone's gonna love this change in the visuals. I think everybody's been loving it.
Oh, for sure.
I'm gonna say this. I remember because I was consulted when HA started to take its first paths in development, and then so everybody knows, we're supposed to be two very different games, but then around the Q4 of last year, we had the idea for the Bitverse, and we decided to unite games and begin the path in which we are today, right? And I gotta say, like, just from the perspective of aligning the game to the universe and making it closer and making a little bit more of that consistency, it just feels so much better. The work that you guys have been doing, it's excellent, right? And game shines. Like when people get into the beta, right? Once we open up, they're gonna love it. They're gonna see a lot of familiar stuff around. Gonna feel like they're in the universe, and the music, like all the things, it's really gonna charm you guys. I can't wait to be there.
Thanks, Jorge. And you're right. Actually, one of the systems that Matthias mentioned, the pets, it's something that is going to be new in this game, and it's going to be available in the beta. So yeah, much stuff to look forward to, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sorry for the awkward pause, everyone. I was struggling with my mic there for a second. Okay,
No worries.
so if you could create a game in the Bitverse of like any genre, which one would you guys like to see, like personally?
Okay. So, well, first and foremost, I think it's important to note that we have several games in the Bitverse that all have different genres. We have like the Bit Heroes Runner game that is in production, as well as the Bit Heroes Arena, and there is talks to making many more. From my end, I do love RTS games. So let's say, I don't know, Bit Heroes Strats. Yeah, let's call it that like that. So yeah, Bit Heroes Strats, and I think that would be really cool addition. We can have Bit Heroes whimsical aesthetic to an RTS. Think of armies of heroes with their weapons versus hordes of monsters. Getting familiar summons, using the fusion system to upgrade your units. Maybe even upgrade your buildings in that way, fusing your buildings. I don't know, go crazy. I think that could really work.
I want to see a pitch now.
I'll have it ready for you tomorrow. Sure.
In my case, Jorge, take notes. So shocking news, I'm a single player kind of person. So I'll go with a third person epic adventure, heavily story driven, with length, lots of character development, and lots of cinematics. But if this is too much for you, Jorge, I would go with a strategy RPG, like a la Final Fantasy Tactics.
Ooh.
Nice. As long as Matthias writes a story, I'm fully on board with that.
Yeah. The possibilities are endless.
For me, I think it's the tower defense that a lot of people requested in the last poll. Like already in my head. I'm also excited about CCG, to be honest. Those are the two that I am looking forward to get. I'll say something like we have working prototype of something very unique that we'll see where it goes from here. But like I think the Bitverse is just gonna be
Yeah, it sounds super exciting.
what we're
And I
doing
think
here
that-
is so special. Yeah.
Yeah,
It does.
and
Yeah.
I think the IP is like especially suited for all of this variety. It doesn't take itself seriously, so it can work very well in all of these different types of genres.
Totally.
You were like a charm in VHA.
Hmm. Yeah.
I think if I could choose, I've said this before, I think in our Q&As, I want Bit Valley, Bit Farm, whatever we want to call it. I want the chill farming sim. That's that. I want fishing. I want farming. I know. I feel like it would be relaxing. I feel like so many of our games are so hardcore. We could have a chill one.
We're doing,
Okay.
all the blockchain stuff. Maybe, we can do Heroes Inner. Sorry,
Could be cool.
but joke.
Yeah.
Joke.
Okay, so are we going to be able to use mounts in Bit Heroes Arena?
Ooh. Well, we do love mounts for sure. So yeah, we believe they're a key part of the Heroes experience, and we're working on a plan to implement them in the future. So yes, for sure, you can bet that they'll be added to a roadmap eventually, and you'll be able to use them.
Yeah, similar to what you find in PUBG, right? Like mounts could be like vehicles. Like you can hop on one that you find the map and move a little bit quicker.
Mm-hmm.
Could be cool.
For sure. Yeah, actually, even more than that, I'd love to use the same systems that we have right now, such as the web modifiers or the upgraded perks for your armors to also give advantages for using mounts. So there you have a lot of synergies when mounting a monster, like a perk that gives you more speed while you're mounting, or a perk that maybe randomly damages your enemies while you're on top of mount. I don't know if that's going to be balanced.
I just got another idea. Matthias. What if we do a jousting mode?
Yeah, you just sold me that idea. Yeah, sure. Let's do that. Love it.
I mean, if you got dinosaurs, I'm cool with it. I love mounts.
Sure.
Just give me one dinosaur.
Let's get dinosaurs and get ramming speed with your mount and destroy your position by just ramming them repeatedly with your mount.
And maybe we can add the Age of Empires cheat code.
Wow. We're getting off derailed here.
So
we do love mounts.
Yes. So if Bit Heroes could do a collaboration with any other game, which would the members of this Q&A choose and why? That's a good one.
So I would say those collabs we're doing are obviously between games of the Bitverse, right? We talked about Runner and Quest, the games that are going to be coming afterwards. If it was something outside of the Beat Heroes universe, I think a game I would probably pick something Web3 space, just because we've seen that it's something that the community loves to see, right? If CryptoKitties could be an interesting one, or definitely not Axie. I'm not a fan of Axie at all. I think this industry has a bad rep because of them. So definitely not them. We saw Gods Unchained, right? Is another game that does really well in the space. Has been around since 2018, I think, 19. And it's a fairly stable model that we could think about. I would say we have, just this week, we had a conversation with another developer in the Web3 space. He's also interested in a collab. So I can't share much, but they're definitely coming. And if it was outside of Web3, probably something like Blizzard or Riot, because those are my two favorite game companies.
Oh yeah,
The products.
That would be awesome.
yeah.
I would love to have a Bit Heroes in Fall Guys.
Oh
Like an
man,
avatar.
that's great.
Oh, that's so cool.
I love it.
Yeah, that was really, really cool. The skins in Fall Guys and the Fall Guys skin in Bit Heroes.
So, kind of while we're on the topic of other people in the space who we might be, interested in or keeping track of, we have an interesting question here. How do we plan to keep up with current top NFT projects, and what is the difference or the unique part of Bit Heroes Arena compared to other NFT projects like Axie, My DeFi Pet, etc.?
I can start here. I think we don't need to keep up because the way we're ahead of the curve right now. There's no other developer doing what we're doing. Like this huge universe, all these different types of games coming up so soon to market, right? Like by the end of this year, we're gonna have Arena and Runner and Quest out. Who's gonna have 3 games are sharing assets across each one of them. 2022. I don't think anyone has that. So in that regard, we are ahead of the curve. Now, particularly for Arena, in Arena, we're thinking about the Bitverse as the game, right? And all the games inside of it as components of that, right? So it wouldn't be fair to compare Arena directly to a universe like Axie, right? Each one of them are going to contribute in a different way to the Bitverse, and Arena is going to have that kind of PvP experience, very twitchy, exciting. I think a lot of people are going to play it for the fun. It's kind of one of what we're calling entry titles into the universe, right? As well as Runner, because those games are fun, right? Like their monetization components are not as intensive as you might see in other types of games, and we're doing this for the players. That's what we always say, right? Like we're not doing this for speculators. We're not doing this for worst of the crypto bros. Like that's not what we're building here. We're trying to build a sustainable game and universe of games that we can develop over time. Maybe at some point we can might be saying too much. This is not green light. Don't take my word for granted. But I stepped from a conversation this morning about creating a 10 to 15 episode short animation series of videos.
That's exciting.
That's cool.
This can go into multiple ways, right? At the end of the day, it's what the community is going to do with us, and that they support us or not.
Right. I think what's important to drive down here is that we're focusing on core gameplay first. Like the game needs to feel fun to play, whether you engage with the play to earn aspect of it or not. So we're really driving down the point of trying to make the combat as fast and hectic, the looting as satisfying as possible, the game's progression as engaging and as accessible as possible for all players, no matter whether you engage in the pay to earn aspect or not. So that's really our focus.
Awesome. All right. So, why did you guys decide to make a Battle Royale as the next game in the Bitverse as opposed to maybe another genre?
Yeah, good question. I'd say that the driving question that we had once we were faced with the idea of creating another game in this Bitverse was, what if Bit Heroes combat was in real time? That was like a question that popped in our heads and created a bunch of different possibilities. And we believe that the Battle Royale was the obvious conclusion to that question, since it brings to fruition the expectations of the community as to what they'd like to see with all of the particular items and mechanical components that the original Bit Heroes game has. Bit Heroes offers a ton of content that can be reasonably adapted to the genre in many exciting ways, from the familiars to the weapons, the armor, the gear, the fusion mechanics. All of that can work really well within a battle royale. And aside from that, the battle royale also offers like all of these opportunities for community building, for organizing tournaments, or getting really hectic combat battles that create a bunch of memorable moments for the players and the community at large that you can share and that you can really get to grips with. I think the battle royale genre is great for all that, to create those moments, those experiences that really make a game stand out the test of time.
Alrighty, so will Bit Heroes Arena be a game suitable for tournaments? If so, how far do you see something like that going? I'm gonna jump in here really quick before, I don't want to speak to like the gameplay part of this, but I do want to kind of mention really quickly that we are definitely looking at tournaments being something that is just like a core part of our community activities in the future. So I'm not sure if you guys maybe want to add anything to that, but short answer, I personally believe, yes, it is definitely suited for that. And I think we have a lot of really exciting opportunities for us to do official tournaments, player-run tournaments. I come from a background in esports, so I'm kind of a huge fan of that. So if we can include it, that's currently the goal.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I think to follow on that, the Big Heroes Arena game, while it is fun to play, also offers like a good space for hardcore players that want to, get in battles with, tournaments, get in battles with other people from the community that are looking forward to be the very best, be in the leaderboards, be have a name in the community, and I think that it's something that it's definitely going to be part of BHA in the future.
I would just say it just makes sense, right?
It does. It is a competitive game after all. Yep.
All right, so this one's kind of fun. What is your favorite battle royale game?
Ooh. I'd say Spellbreak. Yeah, Spellbreak, because it's super dynamic. I love the verticality you can get with it. Like you can fly around, zip around the whole map. That's really cool. And also all of the synergizing effects of your spells add a lot of depth to the whole combat system, that you can combine the elements to create new explosions and new different types of effects. I do love synergies in all games, and try to include as many possibilities for synergizing different effects, since that adds a lot of depth. And I believe you'll find a few of those synergies in the Heroes Arenas.
Matthias, I don't want to be the bearer of news, but Spellbreak is this year.
I'm sorry, I believe you cut out Jorge for a while.
Yeah, sorry. I said I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but Spellbreak is closing next year.
Oh, for real?
That, yeah.
Stabby,
Why you gotta be like
stabby.
that, Jorge? Why you gotta be like that? Come on.
Shocking news.
We're having so much fun.
Man. Just in case you guys don't know, like Blizzard bought the company that makes Spellbreak, and they are shutting it down. It's very sad, to be honest.
Yeah. Still, a ton of potential with that idea. I think it was really well executed in many ways.
Yeah. I wonder, right? Like, why are they closing it? Are they going to make their own version?
Who knows?
Who knows? I've only played it once. It was fun. But for me,
Yes, it is.
I think I would go with Fall Guys, definitely.
Surprise,
Uh,
surprise.
Surprise. I don't know. I just love the simplicity of it. It's very, very silly, and it has nothing to do with it. I have won in that game, like a couple of times at most.
Amazing.
It's a great game. I
well done.
think for me, it's probably Brawl Stars. Because again, Supercell does everything so well. I feel the combat is amazing and all the game modes are well thought. The art style is incredible. I really enjoyed. PUBG was the first one that I played and I loved it as well, mostly for the sound design. I think those two are my two favorites. I hate Fortnite.
I feel like everyone that like has to be included just like by default. I think PUBG for me, just because it was one of the first ones I started playing, and I've had like way too many late nights on that game. But I am wondering, and I'm sure a lot of other people are too. When is Bit Heroes Arena launching for everybody to play?
So I don't know. Can I share this? Yeah, I guess I can. Our current target release date is first half of October. We'll see if we can get there, but yeah, I think we're confident on that target. So it's very close.
Soon, very soon.
And I think you touched on this a little bit earlier, but what do the NFTs do in Bit Heroes Arena? Are they the same as in Bit Heroes? And the question has noted cosmetic only here. Yeah, so NFTs in Bit Heroes Arena.
Exactly. For the moment, all we're evaluating the proof of concept of can we bring these things across multiple games, right? Like items and characters, NFT items and NFT characters. That's the first step in this journey. Then once we have managed to do that, we will start getting into can we actually put stats on the table? That's certainly desired kind of end game of what we're doing here. But to start with, it'll be cosmetic. Yeah. Thing is, some of those cosmetics, like you're not gonna find unless you own the NFT. You're not gonna find them in Arena, right? Let me explain that. So, certain weapons, certain avatars, right? The combination of their visual traits are not gonna be. You're not gonna be able to find them in Arena unless you come with them from the other games, and vice versa, right? Like, the plan is that some of the items that you will be able to collect in Arena won't be able to find anywhere else. So
Right.
it's cosmetic only, but each game will have their unique stuff.
Of course. So if you want to go around like looking like a vampire or like a goth vampire or something, you can use the NFTs for that. Oh yeah.
I think the one piece of it's important to acknowledge here is that because of cosmetic side, we're gonna be careful with it because it might affect the gameplay and the experience in the game. So imagine that I don't know, Matias is wearing a resistance set to fire, right? I am picking the one that has the fire spells. Like all of a sudden, it doesn't look like he's wearing that because he's wearing a cosmetic set from Hero's Quest that doesn't look at all like that. And he has an advantage over me, right? That's something I want to be very careful with, especially if we're going to be adding tournaments to the game at some point. Right? We don't want that type of little advantages to become a problem. It's definitely a factor that we're considering.
Indeed.
All right. So, in one sentence, why should we play Bit Heroes Arena?
Ooh. I'd say it's an innovative mix between a battle royale and an RPG that offers power trip after power trip with its combat. That's it.
Power trip. I love it. That's amazing.
Oh yeah. Got people with an axe and that stabby. Oof.
Oh yeah, the axe especially. I think it's a great addition to the Bitverse and overall Bit Heroes community in general. It's a game we're looking forward to expand even more and more, and the Bit Heroes IP gives us a lot of room to work for.
Yeah, I think those are the set of words, right? Like it's a unique combination. We're playing it. I would say the first time I played it, I felt like I was playing a battle royale, MOBA, Beat Heroes, PvE component. Like it has everything. It's just so cool, and it's thrilling. It reminded me a little bit of when I was playing arenas in World of Warcraft back in the day. Reminded me again of League of Legends. Reminded me of Beat Heroes. I was able to play that on my browser, right? So I was like, wow, this is fun. I can play with my friends, right? Particularly the first time I played it, we were still locked down a little bit because of COVID, right? So let's say we didn't play Heroes Arena because obviously I would not let my friends play it without the game being publicly available. But I definitely saw myself like I could spend a night with my friends playing this, right? Having a lot of fun. And to be honest, Heroes Arena is our go-to game internally whenever we want to have a good time. It's the first game that we pick to have a laugh and share a beer or pizza. So I think it's really fun and people are going to love it.
That is great.
So technically, that was more than one sentence.
Oh no, Jorge, you failed.
You're banned, Jorge.
Technically, it's I don't know. It was a very long sentence.
That's a lot of commas.
Sure.
Commas, yeah.
Okay, so I have a fun question for you guys. As what it's become almost tradition for these Q&As for us to do this. So our fun one for today. The zombie apocalypse is here, and you are trapped in a hardware store. What weapon, and you get one and only one, do you pick?
Ooh,
Or hardware store.
a hardware store.
How is the thing called? What you can shoot like nails?
Nail gun?
A nail
Yeah,
gun.
the nail gun.
So cliche. No. What do you do if you run out of nails?
I would never.
Oh, you
Run
know.
it jams.
Okay, that's further optimistic, I guess. I mean, I guess from my end, I don't know. Do hardware stores sell machetes or something like that? I guess they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, for gardening. Let's say for gardening.
Close to it.
Let's assume they do. Yeah.
Yeah, gardening. So gardening machete. Machetes are super handy. Anyone can use them. Even if they're blunt, they still carry a lot of damage, and you don't run out of nails or bullets. So there you go.
Very smart.
I think Matthias is very close to the right answer here. I know the right answer because one of my best friends is he's a firm believer. He's a firm believer in zombie apocalypses. So he has everything prepared already. It's the kind of guy like he has a backpack in his car, in the trunk of his car with everything he needs to survive. So and he also family owns a house in the outskirts of the or very close to the mountains, and he has everything prepared. And he's told us many times that he will leave us to die. Anyway, the right answer is a hatchet. The right answer is a hatchet.
Oh yeah,
it's because it's lightweight, don't get that tired of running with it. You can use it for multiple purposes. You can put it in your car.
Mhm. You can
I am
chop wood as well.
Technically, you can put the other
with
ones.
Jorge on this one. I would take, my answer was like, I would take the sturdiest, sharpest axe I could find. The hatchet would make you not as tired, but you could use the handle of the axe to like push people away, or I don't know. It's quiet. I'm not gonna,
True.
die because I fired a nail gun and summoned a herd of zombies.
I feel attacked, personally attacked. I think
I
if
feel like-
I would have said the axe,
We
Matthias
just
would
want
have
you
said,
to
so
survive the
cliche.
zombie apocalypse.
Well, let's just agree that Andres would die.
All right.
I think we can
survive.
agree on that.
Yeah. Sorry, Andres.
Like, this is if you ever played Left 4 Dead, like this is the moment where he runs out of bullets and the zombies just finish him.
Yeah.
All right, so we are out of questions, but before we leave for the day, what we're actually going to be doing is picking a winner. Well, announcing a winner. They've already been picked. Announcing the winner of the Ultra Gore. So to win this week, all you had to do was attend and hang out for the duration of the Q&A session. I am super excited to announce that our Ultra Gore is going to, some Discord people may recognize this name, is going to a user called Derek's Goat. We would like to congratulate you on your win. We hope you enjoy your Ultra Gore. We will have it to you very soon. And I think we are just about out of time for this session. So we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here. I want to thank Jorge, Matthias, and Andres for taking time out of their very busy days to sit with us, and a sincere thank you goes out to all of you as well for hanging out to talk with us about the Bitverse and Bit Heroes Arena and the correct weapon to choose in a zombie apocalypse. Our next Q&A hatchet. Our next Q&A session is going to be on July 14th. We will see you then, and I hope a bunch of you join us again in an hour. We're going to be playing games together in server. For everyone else, I hope you have an incredible weekend. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you all.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye-bye.